For us, heart intelligence, the way that it works is that there's this beautiful journey that happens when you go from your mind to your heart. And, it's interesting as human beings that we leave our hearts. We go to our thinking minds because it's safer to use our minds to think and to analyze and to not, feeling is painful. And the reason that happens is because everybody at some point in life, some trauma, some difficulty, some things that happened, feeling was too hard with our hearts. And so we went up there to the mind. It was just cruising. It was easier, right? Everything just seems to be a bit easier. So then everything happens in that level. And that's where the stress, that's where the suffering happens. And that's why the misalignment is happening and all of that is created. So the whole point of heart intelligence is that there's a journey that happens in the descent when we are going, leaving the mind, the thinking mind, slowing down, bringing ourselves into the moments of being, into the moments of expansion, and into the feeling of the heart space. There's a different feeling, there's a different energy, there's a different vibration when we are here versus here. Here, there's like a contraction, there's a judgment, there's a noise. Here, there's an expansion, there's an opening, there's a deep connection to everything all around. And once we're in this space, here, if we just rest here and expand here, we can receive. We can receive. It's not an effort. Like the mind is always like, I want to grab, I want to try, I want to grasp, I want to effort. And that's not how it works. The heart doesn't do it like that. The heart, once you're here, you find yourself receiving and allowing, because you have to get to the being of the heart space. And then that's where the receiving is. That is for you. That is your guide. That is your path. And we all feel, and it's not something that you think, it's something you feel. And it may not even be in a sense of, it can be in a vision, it can be in something you hear. It's just you, it's not like a linear way. But once you have this, we all have it. Like if we think of our lives, all of us, there's been moments in our lives when we've made those choices, we've made those decisions, no thinking, we just felt it. We're like, this is it. And those moments, when we look back, they were perfect. And then the mind, when you look at those difficult and you're using the mind, like for me, I realized, man, did I mess up? And I went against myself. But the heart is always bringing you into you, is bringing life into you. Whereas when you're going here, you're bringing yourself away from yourself. And with your heart, the heart intelligence, the challenge is you got to trust it, because a lot of times it's going to say things. The first part is getting yourself to receive the message and then to listen. But then to actually receive, it may not be what your ego wants to hear. It may be so hard. It may be saying, leave that person, leave your job. You don't actually love. Why are you in this job? You don't even love this. Why? Who are you doing this for? So it is different in the sense you're going to be, when you listen, a lot of people want to just leave, because when you're listening, it's hard. You're going to have to go against the norm, go against the matrix where the direction of society is going. So that's kind of some of the challenges that come up, why it may be difficult to always trust and lean into our heart, but our heart will never fail us. It will never fail us.
Yeah. I'm just going to add to that, it's so true. The trust component, and actually knowing, distinguishing when you are in your heart versus when you are in your mind, distinguishing between, this is my heart guiding me versus this is my mind guiding me. Knowing that distinction is so important, because, as we're growing up as children, right? We're children. We come in this world and we're trying to do our best to learn. And of course we have our parents that guide us, and nobody's perfect. And, and so, we're being told as we grow up, we're coming from our heart. We're just, being ourselves, authentic selves. But then the parent or some caretaker says, no, not this way, that way. This is right. This is wrong. This is good. This is bad. Right. And we have to deal with that. We're met with this, and we're like, oh, but this doesn't feel to me what you're saying. I hear it, but it doesn't feel that way to me. And so because our, caretakers are bigger and more powerful, we have to, what we tend to normally do is we leave ourselves. And that's why I'm saying, we're going from our heart, we go into our mind, and we start strategizing, and we try to figure things out. We try to remember things. Oh yeah, that
safe.
was, this is all to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
So now we do all of this our entire life, right? So the way that we distinguish between where we are in our heart versus our mind is actually very simple. If you're trying to make a decision and you find yourself going through the pros and cons, should I do this? Should I do that? Is that good or bad? You're in your mind. But if you just, in your heart, you just feel the answer. And that is so clear. That is so clear. There's no going back and forth. It's just one way. That's it. That is your heart. It's just that we have learned to go into our mind to strategize. It's almost like, oh no, but if I don't do the pros and cons on a piece of paper or in our mind, then we're not making the right decision. I can tell you from our life experience, every time we have made a decision from our heart, even though consciously from our mind, it did not make any sense. We've told people we're going to do this thing or this program or whatever that was. And people will be like, why would you do that? It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of opportunity. It's whatever. We never regretted it. Never. Not even one time. However, every time we made a decision based on pros and cons, even it was an effort to make that decision. And then after we made that decision, we always looked over our shoulder to say, oh gosh, was that a good decision? I wonder if we made the wrong decision. Oh no, right?